Hey Titus, I wish to wait a while for my property to increase more before selling. What's your advice?
Well, there's nothing wrong with wanting more profits out from your property. I'm sure you know, if you sell high, you will buy high. If you sell low, you might buy lower. But we are not here to speculate because we don't have a crystal ball. Two things we know for sure. Number one, population in Singapore is growing. Number two, land is limited in Singapore. And with these two factors, historically, property price tends to go up in the long term. And the most important thing to note when selling or buying a property is the longer you wait, the harder it is to purchase because of financing. There are three things to financing that affects all Singaporeans. Number one, loan to value. Meaning to say, if the property is valued at $1 million, how much can you loan from the bank? Before 2009, the loan to value percentage was at 90%. For a $1 million property, you are able to loan up to $900,000. All you need is 10%, which is $100,000 as a form of down payment. However, during the 2009 global financial crisis, the maximum loan to value percentage has been reduced from 90 to 80. And more recently in 2022, from 80%, it reduced further to 75%. So in order for you to purchase a $1 million property right now, you need to have a 25% down payment, which is $250,000. The next thing is TDSR. TDSR was introduced in 2013 at 60%. The total debt versus the total income must be kept at a maximum of 60%, including your credit card, your car loan, your personal loan, your home loan. And recently in 2021, it has been reduced from 60% to 55% to encourage more financial prudency amidst the rising property prices. And lastly, buyer stamp duty. And we are not talking about the additional buyer stamp duty. We are just talking about buyer stamp duty. Prior to 1996, it was a 3% flat calculation, and after 1996, they introduced a 1, 2, 3% tier calculation, and in 2018, a new tier of 4% was introduced for property above $1 million, and in 2023, more recently, a new tier of 5% and 6% has been introduced. What all this means to you is when buying a property, you have to down pay more, you can loan lesser, and stamp duty will be higher due to the 4, 5, and 6%. We do not know the measures that will be coming up, but historically, it seems like in the financing aspect of property purchase, it's more and more stringent. These are good measures to encourage financial prudency. However, it will also make property purchase harder and harder. Let me show you an example of the older you get, the harder it is. Let's assume that you have an income of $100,000, $8,333 per month. And right now you are at age 35. And let's assume there's no other financial obligation and we use the interest rate of 4.2% as a form of stress test. 100,000 income at age 35, the property you can purchase is a maximum of 1.25 million. And if you were to delay it further, at age 45, the same 100,000 income will only enable you to have a maximum property purchase price of 990,000. And for illustration purpose, let's bring it to age 55 at the same 100,000 income. Your maximum property purchase price will then only be 600,000. So you see the issue here with property price going up, but your ability to loan coming down as you age. The longer you wait, the harder it might be for you to purchase the property of your choice. So before you think of delaying your sale because you want to fetch a little bit more profits or delaying your purchase, you might actually want to consider whether buying a property in future will be harder than it is today. And if you need clarity, sit down with us, have a coffee session. I'm Property Titus Lim. Call me. God bless.